All right, for the next part, it says, what is the positive solution? So we are only looking for one solution or one answer. We're not trying to see if the whole thing is equal. We're just looking for a positive solution, but we're going to use the same y1 and y2 method. This side goes in the y1, this side goes in the y2. So we got 4x squared plus 12x. I keep putting 35 as 135. And we're still going to press second graph. So we can see the table. Now what we're looking for is there's only going to be one spot. Sometimes there's two places where the y1 and y2 will be equal. But look at your question. What is the positive solution? So they don't really care about any negative x's. They only care about positive x's. If you look here, do you see your answer? Were they the same? No. So some people will keep on pressing down, 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 not noticing that these numbers are only increasing. They're getting bigger and bigger. So don't waste your time doing that. Especially because this side stays at 135. Which means, where is it in between? Your answer's in between somewhere. This side is staying at 135, so we need to find where 135 is over here. Anybody see where it would be in between? Looks like 135 would be somewhere in between here, because 160 is too big, 112 is too small. Okay. So, just because we know it's between 4 and 5, you can maybe start trying second window. Remember what second window will help you do? Second window helps you get to any x value. You don't have to write this down. Second window gets you to any x value unless you want to. So I press second window, so I know it's between 4 and 5 somewhere, so maybe it's like 4.3. Nope, still not the same. Yes, it will. But that's why you have multiple choice. Because let's just say A was 4.3. So then you would say, okay, well, let me go to 4.3 and see. So 4.3 is not the answer. So now let's try 4.5. And then press second graph at 4. Yes, this is my answer. So it's good. You'll have multiple choice. So then you can go to any answer you need to. So I'm just going to write it right here in the table. 4.5 had y1 and y2 the same. So that's how we know our solution is 4.5. That's why it's always good when you have the multiple choice, use it to help you. Okay? Okay, well that's why, so do you understand, do you know where second window is? If you don't know where a certain button is, just say, hey, where's that button at, please? Okay? Because I know I go kind of fast. I forgot some people don't know how to use them because they were at home or a different school. So second is the blue button. Window is right here. Second window, you can get to any x value you need to. If you want to get to 300, you just press 300. Then you press second graph to get back to your table. That's if you, this is just example. Second window, if I need to go back to the ones, press second window, press 1, then press second graph, and it will take you back to the ones. You're going to see we're going to have to do it right here for this next one. So, I have an equal sign in the middle of two things. It says which value of x is a solution. So I need to put this in the y1, and then I just put a measly old 0 in the y2. So in your y equals, and clear that out, I need to put in 5x squared minus 36x plus 36. And then the other side of the equal goes in there. And it says which value of x is a solution. So now I'm going to press second graph because my table, I'm looking for that place where they're the same. Now earlier somebody spotted, you see how these are the same? So x equals 6, right? That's one of the answers. Do you see an x equals 6 over here? No. That's a negative 6. That's not the same thing. All right? So now we're going to use second window to get to each of these x's. Second window, I'm going to put in my first answer, which is negative 6, then press second graph. Are these the same? 432 and 0? No, so it can't be F. Press second window again. Let's jump to a 4. Then press second graph. Nope, not the same. Press second window. Negative 1.8. Are these the same? We're looking for Y1 and Y2. Nope. So hopefully it's this one. Try it. Second window, we put in 1.2. Press second window again. I know it's kind of easy to just kind of sit here and watch me do it, but if you're not trying it, it ain't going to work. Like I tell my students, most of y'all sit in the car for 16 years watching somebody drive you around. So you think you're just going to go take the driver's test and boom, pass it? Maybe 1 out of every 20 people could do that. But if you're not practicing driving, then you probably won't pass that driver's test. So that's what I'm saying. Don't just sit here and watch me drive. You should be putting it in the calculator too, so you can know if you're getting the right answer. All right? And the last one, it is a word problem, but it's the same thing because they give us the total number of seats in the auditorium is modeled by, they give us this function where x represents the number of rows of seats. How many rows are there in the auditorium if it has a total of 416 seats? They give us the same thing, but they don't put it together. They break it up. So it's really like here we have our equation, and it's equal to 416. Which means in the y1, you'll put this. In the y2, you put 416. And then we have lots of answer choices to try. And when you want to try those, press second window. Put in a 32. Jump to 32 and see if that's your answer. How do you know? Because the y1 and y2 will be... when you in here? Yeah. No, you don't have to. You could now just press second graph, and it will take you back to the table. So 32 is not the answer. So press second window again and try 13. So we'll put a 13 in, second graph. Nope. Y1 and Y2 are not the same for 13. So now I'm going to try my next answer, 20. Nope. Let's try 16. Hopefully it works. Yep. All right. Now the next part of the video, we do have to do a little bit of extra work. So that's the end for that section, finding solutions. Remember, sometimes they'll only ask for the positive solution. Sometimes they'll try to trick you where you'll see that there's a negative 6, but it was a positive 6, so try not to get confused with that. Let's flip it to the last page because this one does require a little bit of extra work because the key word is which expression is a factor. A lot of people, some people got really good with factoring, some people, factoring was not that good. So, let me see here. Which expression is a factor of this one? I don't know if you guys remember, but we set up our factoring box. Hopefully your teacher used the box with you. I'm not sure. We put the a, x squared, and the c right here. But then most people, they're like, oh, shoot, I forgot the next step. So even if you forgot the next step, you should still be able to answer these factoring questions as long as they give you a little piece of something. All right? So we know the A goes in this box and the C goes in that box. The B does not go in the box. But notice how you got 3 chances to try. Once again, we're going to try A right here. So this is like they're only giving us one of the factors, which is 3x minus 2. So they give us a little bit to put on the outside, and we know a little bit to put on the inside. This is what makes it easier. Does anybody remember how to fill out the outsides here? Because factoring was like when y'all did it, y'all had to do it, but then the steps, a lot of people just forgot the steps. So remember, whatever's on the outside, we multiply it to get the inside. Whatever's on the outside, we multiply it to get the inside. So 3 times what will give you an 18, and x times what will give you x squared. If you're not good with multiplication, you got to think backwards. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. So you can take 18 divided by 3. And y'all got to know, we went over this several times, x times x is the only way to get a power of x squared. So we filled that in. That's great. Now, like I said, if you can't figure out negative 2 times what gives you a positive 2, you go backwards and you take 2 divided by negative 2. So you might want to put that in a calculator. 2 divided by negative 2 is a negative 1. So it looks like everything's working out so far. But these two, if it's really going to work, these two have to add up to the B value. And the B is negative 15. So if I want to figure out what this missing number is, I need to multiply it times what's all the way in the front and right on top. So 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. And for this box, 6x times negative 2 is negative 12x. So everything in the box worked out, but I got to make sure that these two actually add to equal the B over here. So negative 12x plus negative 3x, does it equal negative 15x? If you just think negative 12 plus negative 3, yes, so A is our answer. I know these are a little tricky, that's why we're going over them. I'm hoping you guys can remember how this box works. Whatever we have on the outside, we multiply to get the inside. We multiply to get the inside. We multiply to get the inside. So let's try it again. Going to start off with a 9r squared and then plus 1. Those are the only two things I can fill in now. And now I'm going to try to see if F is my answer. So that's 3r minus 1. So if you're working backwards, we need to do 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. And if we got one r here, we're missing an r. R times r is r squared. R squared. So let's see if it's going to keep working. Right here we need negative times a negative is definitely a positive, and 1 times 1 gives me 1. So we got it. So it looks like everything's working. Don't choose that answer because we need to make sure that these two add up to the B value. So I need to multiply and see if they add up to the B value. So 3r times negative 1, that's negative 3r. And 3r times negative 1 again is negative 3r. So do those two add up to the B value? No, they actually make negative 3 plus negative 6, but we need a negative 4 for the B value. So it can't be F. So now I'm going to try G, same setup, 9r squared plus 1. However, G is only one of the factors they give us. They don't give us the other one. We got to see if it's going to work. Earlier, one of my students said, Miss, don't forget to put the 1 in front because there's an invisible 1. That's fine. So 9 divided by 1. 9 divided by 1, that's 9. And then r times r is the only way to get an r squared. Just like x times x is x squared. And then negative 1 times negative 1 is the only way to get a positive 1. Negative times a negative is a positive. So it looks like this one's working out too, but we need to make sure that these two r's add up to this r over here. 1 times negative 1, negative 1r. Then we got 9r times negative 1, that's negative 9r. Do these two add up to the b value? I'm yawning already, y'all. All right, no, this one doesn't work either, so it is not G. So I want you to please try, pretty please try H. See if H is the answer. Ends up being the same thing. So H did not work either. Any questions? Mm-hmm. What did you say? A multiplier. Whatever's on the outside. So, just for example, if you have something like this, then they give you like x, and then 3x, and you have a 2 and a 5. How do we get these? The question was, this spot, look all the way on the outside here and all the way up here. 3 times 2 is 6, but don't forget there's an x with it. Same thing here. Look all the way up there and here. Negative 5 times x, that's just negative 5x. All right. I believe that's the end of this one. The answer here, I don't remember what, I think the answer was D on this one. So I'm going to try D first. I think the answer was D. Just in case anybody's at home watching and they want the answer. So I'm trying D because I think D is the answer. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. X times x is x squared. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. Or maybe it's not. Because I get a negative 12x here. And then a 35x. So if I add these, 35 plus negative 12. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Because these two do not add up to the 13. So it's definitely not D. It might be C then. I was trying to make it go a little faster. It might be C. So we know we got 3x here. This is C. I'm going to try C over here. I should not have put 21. I should have put a 20 because now I'm trying to move too fast. That's a 20. That's negative 5. This is going to be a negative 35. And this is going to be a 12x. That's not the answer either. I must have totally forgot the answer for this one. When I add these two, I am not going to get the B of 13. So it ain't C either. So it's either A or B. I don't know. I guess I'll try B since I'm going backwards. I guess I'll try B now. 7 times 3 is 21. X times x is x squared. Positive 4. Seven times 4 is 28 with the x. Then a negative 15 with the x. So 28 plus negative 15. Yes, these two give me the B. So yes, it is B. All right, that video's over.